Jai Sudhav everyone, and welcome once again to another edition of the Vihangam Yog Global Online Forum. My name again is Abhinav and I'm joining you from Sydney, and once again I'm super humbled, super excited to bring to you another week of insightful and transformative discussions from the Vihangam Yog community to all of you lovely seekers around the world. Before we begin, once again, as I've kind of been conveying for the last few weeks on behalf of the Vihangam Yog community, I hope you're all staying safe. You know, we're still in a very interesting time, so I do hope you're all taking care of those close to you and taking the precautions that you require to kind of take care of everyone around you. Once again, this week, we're back talking about the topic, spirituality is not new. This is the last week in our 3-week series, and, you know, I can't do justice to even a single 5-minute clip or part of this conversation with Sant Naamdeo Maharaj. Last week we heard so many transformative things once again. You know, we even spoke about the environment last week, about how, you know, we can't really take care of the environment and we don't need to because the environment knows how to take care of itself. All we need to be is conscious of our impact on the environment, and that in itself will do all the things that we need to do to live in harmony with the environment. You know, Sant Naamdeo Maharaj has given us so much to think about, and you know, without going too deep into what my interpretation and understanding of his divine words are, you know, let's go back to the last part of this 3-part series with Sant Naamdeo Maharaj on spirituality is not new. I wanted to ask just 2 last questions. So the first, so I'll ask them in sequence. The first is, in the spiritual sciences, it's often said, and we discuss a higher power, a subtle energy. Sometimes we refer to this energy as the Supreme, as God, as different names. For a person living in this world, it can be difficult for us to, as people in this world, it can be difficult for us to, you know, understand and even conceptualize that there is a higher power, there is a higher energy. Especially, the argument becomes, there's so many terrible things happening in the world. Some people ask, you know, where is this higher power when so many bad things are happening? So what did the sages, and in your understanding Naamdeo, in your experience Naamdeo, how can we understand and interpret what these sages refer to as a higher power? Is there a higher power even?
Suppose there is no higher power, you know. Suppose that. I would like to ask those people who think all the bad things are happening in the world, and what about, could you ask everyone, and I would like to ask all of you out there, for this environment, for this flora and fauna, for these trees, do the God exist? Does the God exist for a tree? Does a God exist for a tree outside of your window? Probably not. Probably the water, the Himalayan, the water that cascades down for water, maybe God does not exist. Maybe for a dog. Do you think a dog can go to a temple and worship? Do you think a cat can go to a specific place and worship? Hmm. What about them? They have life too, don't they? We humans have made so many gods, so many different kind of gods. So it is very important that if you cannot find a solution of any problem, you blame someone, because it's so easy to blame someone. You know, it's so easy to just say, oh yeah, where is God? Where is that higher power? Where is that? So many bad things are happening and all of that. So you see this environment, you see all, I mean, have we ever asked, it sounds so crazy, insane to ask a bird, oh, what has gone wrong in this environment? They don't question you, they don't question anything. They are instinctively led by some waves. And these waves are the law of the universe, which they follow. We humans have one problem. And you know what that problem is? We have a free will. We can do what the hell we want to do. That's the problem. That's the biggest catastrophe. So if I kind of give you a drug so that your mind stops working, you're a very nice person to me. But the moment you are awake, you are no longer a nice person. So you see, it's very easy to pass the buck to someone, some higher power, because you cannot control it. If there's an accident, and if there is a motorcycle or a car, even the problem lies with the motorcyclist. Because of him, the collision between the the four-wheeler and two-wheeler happened. No one will actually question him. All the blame will just shift to the person who was driving the four-wheel car. So you see, it's very, when you don't do anything, it's very easy to pass the buck and say it's the problem of someone, some higher authority. And so many bad things are happening. But that is not the case here, actually. It is just that, we are rather too quick to comment, and we are too quick to pass a judgment. But the reality is, everything changes with the times. Everything is tapped at times. Why it is tapped? Because one has to become ready for it. If a supply of abundance is flown upon a person, if the person is not ready to receive it, no matter how much it is being provided, it will go waste. In the same way, everything in this universe changes. Everything changes. I think it's too quick to make a comment on it. It's too quick to pass a judgment on it. Nothing happens without a reason. Everything has a specific purpose to serve. Everything that happens in this universe, in this world, has something to serve. So it is very important to be with the changing course of time. This times of change, these trying times, we human beings are being challenged to expose the things which we do know cannot make us greater. Any amount of opulence cannot make you a greater and better human being. So it's very important to pause and think what could make a life more lively, more aligned to the human values, more aligned with the spiritual laws. What about these birds and these cosmic, I mean, our cohabitants, apart from humans? They're absolutely all right because they are instinctively led by some waves. And that waves is nothing but the energy that permeates into this universe. And they are guided by that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're always alive to what is happening in this universe. They are always guided. We have our own free will. So somewhere it is a message for every one of us to change our course of action, which is more aligned with the values attuned to the higher self, which we are entitled to become. This is what, and this is exactly the way we should think. And this time is being provided to you as a blessing. Suppose that if everything is taken away from you tomorrow, your home is washed away, my home is gone, everything is shattered, how would that feel like? So it's very important for all of us to realize that this time is being given to us as a blessing for us to introspect, to see the changes that we could make to align ourselves with the higher purpose of our lives, which we are entitled for. So I think, as long as we are so much attached with the past and the kind of perks and privileges and lifestyle of the past, who knows, this time is being given so that change is always not good. It's not very pleasant at all times. It's not pleasant. Change is not pleasant. So maybe this change which is happening in the world today will help us transport towards a higher dimension of life, which will be much more fulfilling, or which will be much more aligned with the very purpose of our lives, with the higher purpose of life, which will be very much in accordance with the laws of this universe.
Gee, yes. It's definitely been a very difficult time for many of us out there, and I do hope that, as you expressed, Naamdeo ji, we take it as an opportunity for transformation, and we accept the change, and we accept ourselves as well, as you've expressed. I do want to ask, if free will is so damaging, why do we have it?
Yes, it's great that you have a free will. Free will is not a problem. Because of free will, I'm able to connect with you. You are so far off, and because of the free will, mind is not the problem. Why do you want to shun the mind? It has taken so many billions of lives to be able to have this kind of mind and technology that we have today. It's because of the free will we were able to do something out of the box. We are entitled to have so many things today, which of course we take for granted. Life has become so comfortable. Earlier time, you remember, people used to go a kilometer, come back, fetching a bucket of water, come back, do this round 20 times. Just see, all life will go on fetching water, vegetable and cutting woods from the forest and cooking food. Now things have been made so easy just because of the help of the technology. So of course the mind is a great tool, of course. So because it has been given a free will, but now we have reached a place, Avinoji, that these things, our life has become very, very convenient, isn't it? It's true. It has become outrageously convenient. Just accept this fact. I mean, we can travel anywhere in the world, any part of the world. You can explore any part of the world so easy. I mean, we live this life. We are so fortunate to have had that kind of experiences in the past. But having said so, this is the very fact that our life has been made rather too convenient, and nothing is being appreciated, and we are taking advantage of just everything. And there is this time of transition where we cannot make any further advancements in technology, trying to achieve something which is totally against the law of humanity. And this is where the transition is, where we are at this point in time. So that universe is powerful. I do think that everything in this, as drastic as this pandemic and the way it has turned out to be, I can say with great conviction that it is not possible without the higher intervention. You can have Ebola at one specific place and people could die. You can have this or that. I mean, as ubiquitous, as widely spread as this pandemic is, it's just unfathomable. From the remotest village of India to the other part of the world, from the Australia to the United States of America to Africa, everywhere you go, people are affected by that. So it is just that it's not about a specific country who has done what. It is not about that. It's just that a country got used by some higher power to do some nasty, so that entire humanity takes corrective measures. Let's look at that way. Don't blame anyone. So it is that transition period where the technological advancements, having reached to that zenith of progress, cannot go further beyond or trying to do something, but most of the population of the country are being used as a guinea pig by some segment of society to change the entire course of action of humanity, which we as humans cannot. Maybe high power is needed for that. So maybe everything is being turned around. Everything. So it's great to have free will. It's because of the free will and the mind we have been able to achieve what we have. We shall be really proud of that. We as the human beings, we are so endowed with that, But I think after having reached at the zenith of progress technologically, we are still lack in so many things which make the human life meaningful. At the end of the day, you want to enhance your life in many ways. But with all the technological advancement, you find yourself totally shattered, or you find yourself totally like a broken glass on the floor. You are so distracted by so many things. So it is not helping you. You can avail any information you want from anywhere in the world at the tip of the finger, but at the same time, you are so susceptible to the distraction, to the fact that you are not able to crystallize anything specifically in order to go in depth, so that you can have profound knowledge about that specific subject. So of course, it's just that we are not able to handle this technology. We are not able to handle this mind. And I think this technology has reached all the places, almost every corner of the world, and we are really blessed. But I think it's all about this time. It's not about God. It's not about anyone. You see, our other species apart from humans, they are enjoying their life. You have seen many videos, and it has gone viral in the world, where the other species than human beings are really kind of taking their spaces, and there is, and the water bodies have become much more cleaner. The air has become much more cleaner, and with all that advancements, our air was polluted. We need to breathe in. We're not breathing in technology. Come on, technology gives you toxic, you can see the kind of pollution that we are creating, and which really reached to a level where it has to come down. Maybe the nature knows how to balance itself, and I think we shall rather be grateful to a higher power that what has happened the best for the humanity. I would rather think that way, because if that not had happened, maybe something much more worse could have happened that would have wiped away the entire race of humanity. Who knows? So I think we shall be rather grateful that nature knows how to balance itself out by doing some uh, corrective measures, by taking some corrective measures. Uh, and meanwhile, we can also change our course of action too. So we have been provided an opportunity.
Gee,
So be thankful.
gee. Yes, I, I just completely want to imbibe that within myself as well. I'm sure all of our listeners do too. A change in perspective about these things is so vastly important, especially when we try to understand why we are where we are today. And Namdevji, I wanted to end on a question related to this. And that question is, you know, in this time where things are quite difficult and we're discussing elevating ourselves and how that is the essence of spirituality, to become a greater version of yourself. As the international head, as the international uh, guide of Vihangam Yoga, how do how does Vihangam Yoga assist us in leading a spiritual life?
Vihangam Yoga is the most ancient method of meditation, which is the most relevant today's age and time, and especially under this very fear and life that we lead in doubt and suspicion. This has tested all the parameters from all aspect of life. This meditation practice is most ancient and was practiced by Krishna himself, and almost all the masters from Buddha to Jesus to all the master Aurobindo, Vivekananda, with all the philosophies have endorsed this. And but it is not that thing. It is not the technique, but it's the stream. It is never the technique. You may know the technique, but you have been given the best mobile phone. But can you use the phone to its maximum level? Mm-hmm. Not really. So, but to help you achieve that level where you are able to see through your own self, because it is all about taking you to a higher level. Maybe you are zero point 0.5, from zero point 0.5 at least you become 1.5. So let's say that you are stuck at a specific place and you cannot find a way out. You have tried everything possible you can think of, you could have thought of, and after having reached here, you still feel that there's no way out. What Bihangam Yoga does is the very flow of Bihangam Yoga works in a certain way, much more aligned with the spiritual laws, which helps you attain the level instantly with the practice of meditation, with the flow of the master. With the flow of the master, the guru, the master, if you put the faith in him and just ask him to take the reign of the life, take the control of the life, and sadhana especially, which has been prescribed, then it works instantly. And because that's why I keep saying the architect knows the construct. So once the guru knows you where it lies, it will help you kind of come out of it and fix it. So, but for that, it's very important to allow ourselves to be fixed by someone. So, Bihangam Yoga Sadhana, it has worked wonders for me, because I know that there were so many things that did not work, and I had so many questions. But after having been kind of roasted, kind of having been through all this time, and still carry on with this faith in the master, what happens is you realize that master wants you to reach your highest potential. You see, you don't know what your highest potential is. You will never know it, because the maze of Maya, we are so attached to this outside world, we are so attached to our senses, that we would never be able to know who we actually are, unless we kind of break off all these shackles and Uh, but that would not be possible unless there is someone who can show you the path. And Guru is that who can take you to the highest peak of your potential. You know, we are unique our own way. You know, everyone is unique in their own way. Everyone is designed so uniquely by this power which is invisible, but the master shows you the design who you are, and according to the design, your path is led, your path is paved by the Guru. So it's just that, you know, it's not about, you know, making you realize this or that. It is just making you realize who you actually are and what you exactly need to do to bring the clarity of thought about your own self. But it's not about enlightening the world. No, we're not here to enlighten the world. I'm not here to enlighten the world. Who the hell am I? It's just that knowing about your own self is good enough. That is it. That is it. And that happens with the technique of Bhangam Yoga meditation, which has been into existence since 5,000 and more than 5,000, since time immemorial, since the Krishna time, since Mahabharata time, you know. And with the we are blessed to have the master energy still available to us if we can tap it. And if the fusion of meditation practice and the power of Guru comes along, then of course there is a higher possibility of change in our lives. So I can say that, well, it will happen, not happen, that's a different thing, you know. But if one is dedicated enough to improve himself or herself and kind of be taken to a higher level, I think one should at least give some time to to himself. Think that, no, I need improvement. I need to be taken to a higher level. I need to be improved upon few things which I could not do with my effort. Now let a higher power work through me. I allow myself for the higher power to work through me.
Gee, gee. And I think that is the most important message which we can end on, really. That unless we allow the high, I want to make sure I express your words accurately, that unless we, you know, have faith and we allow the higher power to take control, he can't, or, you know, we aren't allowing that power to transform and evolve us to be that better version of ourselves.
Very
And
true.
gee, and in this very interesting, let's say, modern world we live in, where there's so much information, everything is so fast paced, and there's so much going on, as you expressed, Naamdeo, changing ourselves and reaching our true potential seems like the most important thing. Otherwise, all the problems we see, we'll keep blaming them on people rather than using our potential to solve them as well. Um, so Naamdeo, at this point, I want to deeply, deeply thank you for your time. You know, I myself am, of course, just a speaker, not a speaker, a mouthpiece for all the listeners and all the seekers out there. And I hope that I've been able to, you know, firstly, put forward the questions our listeners want to hear about. But most importantly, I hope that everyone out there, and I'm sure everyone out there, has been able to benefit a lot, and I mean a lot, from your wisdom today. So thank you so much for joining us this week.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this platform. I'm sure that people would be benefited, and we can have more and more uh, enlightening ways of changing our lives through our usual and routine conference, online conference.
Jessica, Jessica, G. So, folks, that brings us to the end of this conversation with Sant Shri Naamdeo Maharaj. You know, just to quickly summarize some of the things which, you know, I think the most important for us to take away from this conversation, and that really struck me. You know, people talk about spirituality a lot, and some of us say that we're spiritual, but we don't understand what it entails. As Namaji expressed, there has to be a ritual, a discipline, a structure to life, which is aligned with something higher. If you look at the word spiritual, in fact, the word ritual is inside of it. So perhaps we need to read the word more closely. So spirituality
Very
is,
true.
gee. So perhaps, you know, we need to evolve our perspective. And I hope that from Naamdeo's wisdom today, you've all had something that you can go back and think about. Because really, what we try to do here is we try to surface the wisdom of the ancients. And it does not end with this recording. It does not end with this podcast. It only begins. So we hope that you're all able to take something away this week, and we hope to have you back again in a subsequent week. So with that, I hope you all keep safe and well, and let's see you again another time. Goodbye for now.
शांति प्रदान कर दूर हो सर्व अशांति देव सदा फल शांतिमय शांति शांति